Good morning. It's Celeste of Astrology by Celeste on this beautiful Wednesday morning. This is the Astro and the Oracle program. Yes, it is. Here we go. Hey, Ridiculisa. So nice to see you this morning. And Psychic Knitter. Ooh, I love that. Hey, Martina from France and Deshawn and Denise and everyone. Hi, Anne and Linda and everyone. Good morning. Yes, on this beautiful Wednesday morning, this is the Astro and the Oracle program where I'm going to talk about the astrology a little bit, and then I'm going to pull cards for Oracle guidance, and we're going to use today the Pocket Archetypes deck from Kim Kranz. Now, she has I love this deck, and she's got a full size and then a pocket deck. So you can get either size for however you want. It's a deck that is it's the Wild Unknown, and it is from Harper One. Interesting. Harper One is the publisher. Okay, let's see. So you're going to listen for your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign when we get there. Okay, well, efforts to bend the universe to my will have been unsuccessful. And yeah, we are, we knew we were off to see the wizard, and this is where we are. And yeah, so today there's so much, but I want to keep it concise. And I think one of the things that we're seeing astrologically over this last several days that is of interest to me anyway, is there's two things. Well, first we saw the first Sun-Pluto conjunction in the sign of Aquarius. For the last almost 20 years, the Sun and Pluto have come together in the sign of Capricorn, where there was this spotlight on the breakdown, the rot underneath the deck of our traditional systems like governments and big businesses, the elderly. Like if you look in the U.S., people in our government are so aged, it's like they're in generations away from, the people who are, the young people at this point. We're being governed by people in their 70s, 80s, and maybe even more. I mean, Dianne Feinstein, I think she was 90. Anyway, so that has been something that has really come up over the last several years. Our infrastructure in the United States, our infrastructure is crumbling. I mean, we've got this new infrastructure bill, but it takes from the past administration, but it takes years to see this stuff come to light, where our roads and bridges and all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, well, now we've had the first Sun-Pluto conjunction in the sign of Aquarius, which rules groups, technologies, organizations, and the collective. And we're really seeing the story that's so upfront with the Sun, who's the leader, merging with this and setting a spotlight on these plutonic topics, is the tech, the ascendancy of these tech companies to positions of power where they have been exalted in front of some of our people who work in our government. So Venus in Pisces. Venus, the planet of allies, and Venus bestows blessings, is in the sign of Pisces, where it's exalted, where it's lifted up and put on a pedestal. And at the inauguration, we saw 5 tech giants sitting in the front row, and then the people in the cabinet were behind them. So it's so interesting with Venus and Pisces there, and then the cabinet is a Virgo type. It's the employees of the leader who are assigned different organizations to get what they want done. And the South Node is in Virgo, and the South Node's a drain, so they have been backed into less importance, and the tech people are put into more importance, because what they can do and what they can help the leader with is exerting power and control over the over the populace, over the collective, through our minds. Aquarius is an air sign, and it's going to be really interesting to see how things go between now and when Uranus goes into Gemini, another air sign. So we can think about the thought control, the thought police, all this kinds of stuff. So many people, myself included, yesterday had followed myself against my will, following the wizard and his top. It's his top. I won't say it. I don't want to get in trouble. his top lieutenant. Let's just call it that. On Instagram, and I block them, and I'll be really annoyed if they come back. And on Facebook, and I just feel like these are like mind games that are being played on the populace to make us feel like that we have a complete lack of control with the North Node in Pisces. And like with TikTok, when TikTok went down, and this is another great example, we saw what's called cazimi. So when a planet, there's something called the synodic cycle where the sun meets planets. And for the outer planets, Mars out, it happens once a year where the sun comes in, and as the sun gets closer and closer, and within 17 degrees, the sun is like this huge ball of fire, and it has these flames of purification. And so as it gets closer and closer, and like within 17 degrees, it's called under the beams, because its power and its radiance, the sun is the king, is so big that it starts to like burn up the planet and burn off the old stories. And then when it gets within 8 degrees, it's called combust. And this is a big weakness. The planet is at like the end of its life in this past year. And it's like this dying imagery as the sun gets closer and closer. But once the sun is within 17 minutes, so very close, or degree, depending on ancient degree, Renaissance, we're looking at like 16, 17 minutes of the planet, it's called cazimi, where the planet can sit at the heart of the king and ask for a favor, and then has a higher opportunity for favors to be bestowed. So you often hear about like when Venus or Mercury or cazimi, it's a good time to like take some time to meditate or what have you and ask what you want from the nature of that planet. Yeah, so burning off old stories, we go cazimi, it's invisibility, and you get to ask for what you want, and there's this symbology of death and then rebirth. And so what happened with TikTok, it's like it died, but within 12 hours, it was reborn, and they credited the wizard for this. It's like top level propaganda. I mean, this was all planned. And the thing that's interesting is when the TikTok came back, people are complaining that the algorithm is different. They can't search things they used to be able to search for. Yeah, I'm seeing all kinds of things all over about, like somebody posted something, they were asking their Alexa about the achievements of a president, and there's only one that have achievements listed by Alexa on their app. Now, it maybe is not to everyone's, but yeah, so this is the kind of stuff we're seeing. Massive propaganda that's causing confusion, the alliance with the government, the sun figure, and the tech, being the sun Pluto and Aquarius. It used to be we used to talk about the government military complex. Now we're talking about the government tech company complex. And yeah, there's going to be all this money invested in AI architecture so they can really try to control us as much as possible. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, with that. Okay, and the reason I wanted to talk, let's see if there are any comments. I hope that made sense, that we got to see cazimi. And what happened was TikTok died while the sun was at 29 degrees of Capricorn. 29 is a degree of crisis and decay, and so it died. It went dark in the USA. And Capricorn rules governments and big businesses. And then the sun went into Aquarius, and right around that, it came back up. And the sun was moving to Pluto, so like granting that a blessing. Oh, I did these. Oh, you're an Aquarius sun and a Cancer moon. So really notice what you're seeing with this Sun-Pluto conjunction, because Pluto can also be the terror. So what fears are coming up within your mind about what could be coming? There were a lot of things done that I think were intended to have people feel intimidated. Yeah. And scared. Let's see. Yeah, I know you didn't have TikTok go down in France. It was only the United States, right? Yeah. Good morning, Ditogo. Yeah. Yeah, I need to go back to Facebook. I unfollowed it once, but I'm hearing people, it like keeps coming back for some people. So it's really, really irritating. So anyway, that's that with the Sun Pluto. We knew we'd see a spotlight on groups, and Pluto has a mass influence. And then the Moon went in from Libra to Scorpio on Tuesday. So there was this image of what scorpionic themes are we going to be looking at that have a mass influence on people. So in Washington, D.C., let me start with the hotel. So there was this big hotel fire in Turkey. It's a big catastrophe. We know Mars is retrograde in Cancer. Cancer rules homes and things like lodging, like hotels. And so we saw this big fire where tons of people passed away and are in a crisis. So that's that Moon in Scorpio. We're talking about death. In California here, the winds kicked up. Aquarius is an air sign. Pluto, catastrophic winds in both San Diego and there's somewhere else where there are fires that have started up again. Yeah. And so we're seeing that. And what's happening in the sky right now is Venus is exalted in Pisces and Mars is in fall and retrograde in Cancer. So this is like being on a pedestal versus being in the bottom of a well. And both of them have been moving towards, actually this was yesterday for Mars, but both of them sextiles, which are opportunities with Uranus retrograde. And Uranus can spin things around. So you can think about Venus and Pisces, an exalted person bestowing a blessing to someone who's Mars retrograde in Cancer at the bottom of the well. So we saw the January 6th rioters pardoned. Pardons are a Venus and Pisces thing, given a blessing. So there were people, Mars, who attacked Cancer, the homeland, in the past. And then Biden, before he left, he pardoned preemptively his family. Cancer is the family. So we saw both of these pardons that were for people who really shouldn't have been giving pardons, because with Mars and Cancer, these are like extreme actions that are being taken to give blessings that are out of the norm of what are considered people appropriate for pardon. So I hope that made sense. Anyway. You could feel the relationships degrade. Two important people in your life turned your back on in the span of a few days. So Venus and Pisces, people, Uranus, spinned around and turned their back on you. That's unfortunate. Well, hopefully Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Uh-oh, I dropped all the cards on the floor. Yeah. Yeah, so notice Venus and Pisces themes. And when you see people going above and beyond for people who are like at the bottom of the well in some ways, like some people may be helping to hide their neighbors if they're concerned about them being deported and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good. You did need to, yeah, eliminating negative energy. Sometimes things, sometimes people are revealed and, oh, the POTUS IG. Okay, you're not having that. Yeah, well, I would imagine you would not, since people would be apoplectic if they were in other countries and started following this mess against their will. Yes, I know it can feel like Armageddon, and this is why we need to ground ourselves. There's so much. There's these natural disasters. There's like in Japan, there's this big volcano is going off again. Here, there are all these fires. There's every time that you turn, like if you're scrolling, like with the sun Pluto, you're seeing all these things of people who are in like this incredible hardship. Like in Brazil, there were these horrible floods. It can be overwhelming, and like having all these new laws and things designed to, to a lot of them feel like they're designed to hurt people, and they are. Can be very overwhelming. And with the North Node in Pisces, we really have to let ourselves not catastrophize as much as we can, because a lot of these laws or orders that were passed never gonna be implemented. Some of them are illegal, like birthright citizenship. I don't know if they've got some big plan to wiggle through some loophole, but it's in the Constitution. So even if they can, it's going to take years and years and years and years and years possibly to get it done. Like there was some thing saying they could just eminent domain, take California land and turn it into an oil company or an oil field or whatever. Like that's lawsuit city. That's going to take years and years and years to adjudicate. So as much as we can, I think we need to not let our fears get out of control, because that's what it's meant to do. It's meant to frighten people into submission and make them feel powerless. So yeah, so Armageddon, well, I don't think Armageddon's coming. I wouldn't be surprised if we're like anticipating all these horrible things and like not a bunch of nothing happens, because it started with Mars retrograde in Cancer. Mars is in fall, which is in exile. It's not listened to or respected, and retrogrades slow everything down. So, and a planet in fall can act in extreme ways, but they can be ineffective, like trying to take, birthright citizenship away from people. Years of court cases, like changing the name of the Gulf. I mean, we're still calling Twitter, and its name was changed years ago. Changing names, that's just totally ineffective. People are still going to call it the Gulf of Mexico for ages, no matter what you call it on a map. Yeah. Mount Denali. People just keep calling it Denali rather than McKinley because, yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah, so it's an ineffective thing that's just performative. A lot of this is performative. The North Node is in Pisces. We're at the greatest show on earth where the man behind the curtain is just doing all this, throwing all this stuff out while they pick our pockets. Now, what they are going to do is tax cuts as much as if they can, to take the money from the public and funnel it into the wealthiest of them all with these tax cuts. That's what's going to be happening. Hey, Brooklyn Astrology, so nice to see you. That's what I'm most worried about with this other stuff. Yeah, it's just so important not to get too scared. Because we do have rights. Yes. Okay. So that was, I wanted to talk about, like, the exaltation, Venus and Pisces, all these tech peoples sitting in front. And, you know, Venus and Mars trine Uranus. Now there are only two sexes determined at contraception when, you know, I saw stuff, you know, talking about biologically, all fertilized eggs are female at conception. Anyway, it's just a lot of nonsense but that has real world implications for people. But it's just meant to demonize certain people and whatnot. But anyway, this is what it is. What it is. I'm really interested. Venus is going to be a big point of topic because it's going to go retrograde, and it's next week. It enters the retro shade, because what's going to happen is Venus is going to go retrograde in Aries back into Pisces. It's got 3 hits with Saturn. So really notice when you see exalted people be having problems. I think with this Diddy stuff, there's going to be a lot of big news, some big names. We'll see. Okay. It's the noise at distractions from what they're going on. Yes, that's where Congress comes in. Yes, absolutely. While they pick our pockets. Yes. Let me see. Did I miss a comment? Yeah. How long can we trust Instagram? I don't know. It's like being very careful. This guy who owns it has gone full midlife crisis. So, you know, we already see that there's manipulation and stuff going on. So I don't know. I'm over at Blue Sky. You can follow me there. Please sign up for my newsletter, and so that, you know, in case, you know, who knows? They're like kicking people off and doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, sign up for my newsletter to make sure you'll be able to stay in touch. You can go to my website, astrologybyceleste.com. That's where you book readings or services or anything. I'm having a free workshop about the nodes. I think I'm going to have to start a community because of what's going on with these social media companies, and them no longer being places. So we'll see. But I think the key message is, remember, the North Node is in Pisces. A lot of it's just propaganda and stuff that causes confusion and anxiety and stress. The South Node's in Virgo. So some people are feeling like the structure underneath them is unstable, and letting your mind get catastrophized is not a good idea, because it's kind of what they want, and it's not helpful. Yeah, and we really need to protect our physical health with the coming eclipses. March 13th, there's an eclipse in Virgo, a health sign. So we really want to make sure we're fortified for that. Okay, and I'm telling this to myself too, because I can, with my mind and my Mercury trine Pluto, I can like imagine all sorts of stuff that is likely never to happen. Yeah. Okay. Let me start these cards. I have a client at 11. Okay. So we're going to start with Aries. You're going to listen for your sun, moon, and rising for a 3-card reading about archetypes. Archetypes that can help you. I want these archetypes to help us be reminded and keep us grounded through this time of immense change and upheaval. Okay. Uranus is very active for the next week, and this can be, Uranus rules stress. It's the higher octave of Mercury, so people can get really stressed, and we want to stay grounded. Okay, which is harder these days. So for Aries, is gnosis. Isn't this like knowing? Let me look it up. So this is gnosis. And let me see, what card is this? This is for Aries, sun, moon, or rising. innermost knowing, mythic truths. So this is like sometimes when it seems like everything is out of control, you can think about what are some things that you know are true despite outside circumstances. Because with all of this Piscean energy, it can just feel like, oh my God. Yeah. So when this is in light, you can contemplate the mystery of life. And it also is about unanswerable questions. True knowledge is not found in facts and figures and scholarly books on library shelves. This really feels like the South Node in Virgo. True facts and figures and South Nodes are drained is not found in library shelves. And there may not be any more library shelves. I'm just kidding. That's okay. Rather, Gnosis points to the deep and timeless archetypal wisdom that rises from the felt experience of having touched the unknown with every one of the senses. So when you're feeling like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, are they going to come rip me out of my house? Yeah. Can you like ground yourself and understand that's not likely to be happening or throw you? Yeah. This card signifies a knowing that is life-changing. Once you experience it, you are forever changed to become a guardian. The external mystery is calling you. Now, when it's dark, over-intellectualizing and literalizing or asking others. So that's for Aries. And we're going to have one more eclipse in Aries on March 29th, I think. So Gnosis, if you're, a citizen, I have rights. They can't do that. Like, I have rights. I have legal protections, this, that, and the other thing, or some things you can think about. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I might have missed. Oh, good. You're following me on Blue Sky. Jojo, Blue Sky is like similar to Twitter, but it's not owned by any of these tech companies, these tech billionaires. So it's an app, Blue Sky, where right now it's just like the writing, the like tweet-like things, but they're working on other apps. Like there'll be a competitor to Instagram and TikTok eventually on there. So to helping people get off of these things and onto something that has, I think it's called open architecture. I'm not sure. I'm not the one to answer. Taurus, the vision. Ooh, so Taurus, it's like, this is really important to think about. When you get concerned about feelings about safety and security and get you grounded in the practical realities of life, a reminder to think about what is your vision. And there are owls here. So there's this real call to think about, to me, higher wisdom, despite what you're seeing in ordinary, despite what you're seeing, keep your vision in mind. There is so much with this year. There's a lot of endings coming with the planets at the end of signs. So Uranus is at the end of Taurus. It's been there since 2018, like stirring up our values, our resources. This crypto stuff is totally out of control. There was this crypto guy, the Silk Road guy, who got a pardon. Oh my God, who had a dark web thing about selling heroin and cocaine and all of this stuff from 45. Yeah, so that's a tangent. Let me see. 50? The dream, the imagined, the revealed. We are each born with a new vision. Instead of like being apoplectic about all that's going on, can you stop and you get fixed in these thoughts and think about your vision? Because people with, especially if you have planets early in the sign of Taurus, Pluto is squaring them. So this is like, ooh, what are the power moves you're going to make to bring your vision into life rather than letting yourself like think, and get so worried about everything. Ooh, Gemini, the one. I love this. Jupiter is now in the sign of Gemini. This is your sign. So how is this energy helping you to expand? Now, Jupiter makes everything bigger. So if you're like cogitating and worrying and all that stuff, that'll be bigger. What is the one thing you want to expand, Gemini, and really focus on that? And yeah, that's what I think you can do with this energy. Be strategic about what you prioritize, what you make the one. And yeah. Oh, my pleasure. Oh, red note. I'm not going on any red note. That's yeah, I saw like some apps about that. It's like, I think a lot of the stuff is in Mandarin or something on Red Note. This is another Chinese app a lot of TikTokers went on. I saw some memes about Red Note, but oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, vision is heavy on your mind and changing values. Yeah. Yeah, values are changing. For Cancer, it's the cave. With Mars retrograde in your sign, I just have to say, this Mars retrograde is pretty wonky because Mars is the planet of action, energy, and drive. But as soon as Mars got back into Cancer, I don't know, for people who've been watching a long time, know I was having all these shoulder problems and like just being tired all the time. And I started hormones. So estrogen replacement, I'm in my 50s, and the patch. And then I take a progesterone at night. Oh my God, my energy has come back. Like almost exactly when Mars retrograded back into Cancer. I'm a Cancer rising. So the rising sign, the first house, rules your vitality. It took about a month, but it was just like, oh my God, my shoulders don't hurt anymore. My energy is back. I'm not tired like at 2 in the afternoon after, yeah. So this time for us, Cancers, with Mars retrograde, like what is coming back to you energetically that felt like it was gone? Maybe something you're experiencing. And the cave is like, you know, the place where you go within and kind of hermit and gain some additional wisdom. That's some of the wisdom I've gained. Like I gave myself rest and a break, and it's been really good. Yeah, and needed. So where do you retreat within? And the cave also has shadows. So probably some things are coming to your attention about how you took actions that weren't really successful or against your best interest. So there's a lot of internal work Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising are doing with Mars retrograde in that sign. And what are you learning? Ooh, Leo, the riddle. Riddle me this. Leo, what is the riddle that you are unraveling? And it may be coming from outside of yourself where you're seeing things, that you've never seen before about yourself, about others, or the collective, or your higher thoughts. Pluto is in Aquarius. Aquarius is opposite Leo. Mars station retrograde in Leo. So, that's what I'm getting for you. Let's see. It's saying the puzzle, the question, the mystery. One must stop. When the riddle is present, one must stop searching for the right answer. It cannot be found and is not important. Rather, there must be a shift from the literal to the metaphorical, from logic to mythic. You are thinking too small and literally about the situation. So what are you thinking too small and literally about, Leo? And how can you take a step back? And this is what Aquarius energy does. Take a step back. And the sun is in Aquarius, opposite all your Leo planets, shining a light as it goes through that sign? What can you take a step back and gain some higher wisdom and look at it in a different way? When it's light, you can have a great awakening or aha moment. And when it's dark, manipulation, deceit, or trickery. So what did the sun and Pluto coming together illuminate to you? Yes. Okay. Let's see. Virgo. The creator. To me, this is like with the South Node in Virgo, this is really an important time to honor the temple, actually, and take good care of your physical body. You have the ability to be extremely creative, especially with your mind, Virgo, because when you're going through all these details and trying to bring order to chaos, you can you can let one like nugget of fact lead you into like this whole like mythology about something catastrophic happening. I think that's really important for not to let anxiety run amok, Virgo, especially with the South Node in your sign, especially if you're a Virgo rising or moon. It can really be bringing up some of this subconscious stuff. So what are you creating with your powerful mind and imagination? And we want you to be creating things that are really helpful for you. So what can you let go of that's not? And use this time where there's this energy of you and the other, which are going to be getting the eclipses going back and forth, that are going to be really important. And you're going to be letting go and shedding old stories. So what have you created that you're ready to let go of? Maybe something Virgos want to think about and really be more focused on what you're creating, both good and bad, and making sure it's something in aligned with you. Oh, you want to expand your family. Oh, how nice. Yes. Okay, Taurus moon in the ninth. Uranus. Oh, and now you're doing an energy healing business. Wonderful. Ooh, Libra, the castle. That is really interesting. Okay, Libra, the castle. I want to read the keywords in that one to see what I want to say about Libra. The castle, the palace, the penthouse, the fortress. The castle is loaded with duality. It represents abundant riches, seductive fantasy, ornate wonders, and lavish adornments. Yet the walls are thick, cold, and shadowy. It points to the tendency to hold on to possessions, possibly a literal home, or positions that project the image of achievement, while the soul longs to run barefoot in the forest. Well, this is just like, where have you imprisoned yourself, Libra, with being so concerned about how things look, or being elegant or eloquent, or appearing, perfectly dressed, this and that? Like, where have you been wearing high heels when you really wish you had some flats on so that you could walk faster or potentially run? So how do you limit yourself because you're concerned about how things look from the outside? The last year and a half, where the South Node was in Libra, you were supposed to be letting go of that stuff. So hopefully you have, and can just celebrate that you've remodeled your castle in a way that is better. Okay. Scorpio, the hunter. Oh, we had the moon is in Scorpio right now. So this is a nature to you, Scorpio. You're a Mars ruled sign. That, what have you set your sights on? Are you making sure you're not getting too distracted from the things that you are going towards? And I just want you to remember, when you drink poison, like, what is that called? Is it revenge or something, where you drink the poison and want the other one to get sick? So watch out for like, because there's such energy to just be so furious about things that are going on that you are internally eating yourself up rather than like doing something productive to get to take actions, yeah, that are helpful. So just making sure am I hunting the right things can be a question you ask yourself. Yeah. Ooh, cat crazy. Jupiter stationing on your sun. That could be really lucky. Absolutely. So what, have you been having just blessings feel like they're coming to you or flowing to you? Or, ooh, lucky breaks. Maybe get a lottery ticket. Yeah. Oh, you started Pilates. I love that, Denise. Yeah, I'm back in my Pilates classes. Yeah. I had to stop because of my shoulders, and now they're feeling good again. Ah, okay. Okay, so you're taking an international vacation, rest and reflection. Absolutely. Get out of here. Oh, good, Ari. I'm glad you were in time for Leo. Okay. Oh, okay. Sagittarius, the shaman. Ooh, I love this. So this is about you getting in touch with your deeper wisdoms. Yeah, I love that. We think of that as kind of like a scorpionic thing, but most Sagittarius, you may have a Scorpio Mercury or something because the signs are right next to each other. But let me read the shaman. And then, I got to hurry up. I'm not going to be able to post the pictures until later because I have a client that I have to finish a few things before I meet them. Oh. Okay. The Magi, the sorcerer, the medicine woman. The shaman is activated by long-standing and diligent study. Then its orientation generously and accurately aimed toward the healing of the self, the other, and the culture. And third, the shaman has a knack for finding doorways into the other world, allowing psychic visions and old magic to leak into this world, the unseen. It's a master who bridges the everyday and the sacred, revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. Ooh, so with Sagittarius, the nodes are now squaring you because they're in Pisces and Virgo. And so how can you maneuver through the mundane and sacred? And I bet you'll be called on to help other people. My boo is a Sagittarius who is good to help me like step back and not catastrophize or sometimes indulge me in, well, what could happen if this happened? It's like, okay, yeah, but like you're one of the wisdom keepers, can help people, pull people out of the abyss and see the bigger picture. That's part of your role. Okay. Capricorn, the poet. I think this is a reminder for Capricorns. Maybe you want to write a poem about how Pluto's out of your side forever in this lifetime, and you don't have to worry about that anymore. You've done the work. Have you felt a lightening of your soul? This Venus in Pisces is in a beautiful sextile to your Capricorn placement. So Capricorns, especially if you're born at the later degrees, you have planets at the later degrees, they're getting a lot of Venus opportunities to make magic within, to lighten up your soul over the next couple of months because of the Venus retrograde. Yeah. And Venus is going to Venus, even if it's retrograde. I mean, it can be problems, like if you go get plastic surgery and look all funny afterwards. But in general, it may be revealing things to retrograde that you needed to know about how you relate to others, or exposing things about yourself or others that needed to come up. But, yeah. But it can be nice, all that Venus, as long as you don't spend too much. Spend all your money. Okay, anyway, the mystic is for Aquarius. Ooh, Aquarius. With that Pluto in your sign, That's the mystic is Plutonic energy that's like bringing up these higher truths as well. It's so interesting. Sagittarius. If you got Sagittarius and Aquarius, the shaman and the mystic, I love that. Let's see what else. What are the key words for the mystic? The seeker, the light worker, the dreamer. Yet, like Shiva, the true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison of the world, holds it in his throat, slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. This is the work of the mystic. They do not fear darkness, but rather sit with it. So with Pluto going through your sign, that's the work. You've got to sit with the darkness, sit Shiva sometimes, because these things are coming up to your attention. And having that futuristic higher view to not catastrophize, and to see how we can work with this in order to transmute these difficulties into positivity. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're feeling so low. You might want to come for a reading. Yes, this is a good time. You're going to be doing a lot of inner work with Venus, and like with Venus and Pisces. If you're feeling unloved, I want you to look for every small nugget of love people are showing you, whether it's holding a door open for you, bringing you some coffee, handing you a tissue, a smile. Like, look for every little blessing that comes along your way. And like this week, there may be something that feels not great because Venus and Mars are in a trine and Mars is retrograde. But sometimes when people expose themselves to you, that can be a blessing. Yeah. That you may not realize at the time, too. And yeah, shed some love on others can be helpful too. Ooh, Pisces, anima mundi, like the whole world. Pisces has the whole world in your hand right now with the North Node in Pisces, amplifying your creativity, your introspection, your ability to be empathetic. So you have to maintain, Pisces really need to work to stay grounded, dropping anchors and all this kind of stuff. Not letting yourself get too worked up by stuff. Like discharging the energy, putting yourself in a bubble. Yeah. The soul of the world, all that is, the principle of accept all and reject none. This is the living soul of the world and all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers blended together by cosmic forces. Loving. Diversity is celebrated. Multiplicity is honored and nothing is denied. Embrace everything. You know, just because the wizard says something's bad doesn't mean it's bad. Like we celebrate our differences and see them as strengths. Yeah. Tending to the sacred details of life. When dark, overwhelmed by the bigness of existence. So you really got to keep grounded and not let yourself, as much as you can. Yeah, believe in your value. You are worthy. Absolutely. Yes, it's finding romantic love can be resentment, Larry. Yes, yeah. Oh, Mars stationing on your Sun, Jupiter conjunction. Okay. Oh, it's Mars stationing on your Sun. Mars, Jupiter can be, going to be can be success. Yes. So, yeah, just be extra careful with fire and knives and slowing down. around when Mars gets close to that degree. Yes, it's stationing square my moon. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to get sick or any of these other things. Okay, I really got to go. Sorry, I would love to do some of there's some great ones. Yeah, do some readings together, but, oh, Scorpio, drinking the poison. Yeah, yeah, it's that, yeah, okay. Okay, anyway, I got to get going today. Sorry, I have to rush. But yeah, I will post this and I'll post the picture of the cards later today. And then I'll cross-post it on YouTube. But make sure to sign up for the free workshop. If you want to join, you can go to the link in my bio or astrologybyceleste.com and on my workshops page. Okay, take good care.